That's
Well, you
awesome.
missed him anyway.
But we talked about Danhausen. We can start rolling into Dynamite and Revolution. We just watched Revolution ended last week, last Sunday, and we had Dynamite and we had Collision. We have big business coming up as of this recording. They're on a hot streak. I gotta say, Revolution was a really good pay-per-view. I was impressed by the ending. I mean, the actual match between Sting, Darby Allin, and the Young Bucks was. I mean, that was crazy. The spots,
Yeah.
just the drama. And I know that Sting mentioned in previous interviews that he doesn't like to lose, but the feeling of him winning is just felt really good. You don't get that many opportunities like this. You had Ric Flair lose his last match, and that was emotional. I thought that was the right way to go about Ric Flair's retirement match. The first retirement
We're talking
match.
like the Shawn Michaels one.
Yeah, we're talking about Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 24, but I like sometimes to have, if there's a retirement match, and there aren't that many that I've seen, it's nice to just have them go out on top. And then and why not? Like they could just retire the belts, let them, or vacate the belts and let someone else have a go, but just have them win and go on top. How did you guys feel about that match? Initial thoughts about Revolution? Any first things that come to mind?
I mean, AEW really stacks their cards usually on these pay-per-views. I think it's because you are paying for it, so they feel like they have to like stack it, like a bunch of matches, so you get your money's worth. But it does run pretty long because then you're like, damn, this shit still got like 30 minutes.
The
Damn.
marathon, bro.
More
But
Tell me about
wrestlers
it.
get paid too.
yeah, but overall pretty good. I think it flowed really well. I don't know when the Konosuke to catch the match was. That was like, I think they had the Tony match and then they had this thing match or some shit. I don't remember if you pull up the card or something, but I think it flowed really well. There was like a breather moment. You had the big ass match, and then you had the finale, which was good.
Hmm.
What'd you guys think of the scramble match to determine the number one contender? And was it the right person who should have won?
Yeah, it should have been Wardlow out of everybody, I think. I mean, he was the only guy that cut a promo on the previous Dynamite or two Dynamites before the pay-per-view, so it made sense.
Yeah.
He did well in those promos too.
Yeah.
I mean, his promo. I mean, I am an admitted super casual watcher of AEW, and I'll be a little more tuned in going forward with AEW, so I'll have more of an opinion on their product. But I thought Wardlow's promo before Revolution was really good, and if that's what's expected of him, I know he's having a title match at Big Business against Samoa Joe, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
That should
Hmm.
be good. And also, yeah, why not? Why wouldn't you put, a title match on TV? You got a mostly sold out arena in Boston. You're gonna debut Mercedes Monet. Why not have a title match? Just go balls to the wall. We'll see what the ratings are, and how many people are actually watching. I feel like I'm of the mind that that doesn't really make too much of a difference, because how people digest content has evolved so much, and the older guys who talk about wrestling on their podcasts and shows really sometimes look at ratings like a gospel, but you can't look at content and product in that way in 2024. At least I don't think you should look at that, because people don't have time to just sit down always and just watch a full show of AEW or WWE in one go. Like, it's not always going to be appointment television. People are going to watch it in their own time. They're going to watch a replay on Hulu. They're going to watch clips on YouTube. They're going to watch clips on social media, and then they're like, "Oh, I'm good. That's all I need to do to watch this show." But
Right.
Hmm.
hopefully with their viewership, it does increase for big business, at least when it comes to their TV ratings and advertising dollars and all that, because I'm sure that gets affected when you're looking at that. But I'm very hopeful for big business. We had AEW Dynamite, and there was a huge fallout from Revolution. Will Ospreay was one guy that was the one match that I missed.
Wow.
On Revolution. What did you guys think of that match?
That was
I guess
fire.
I'll comment on the Dynamite one.
Fire.
Yeah, that was great.
That was one that you missed, unfortunately. I mean, I could lend you my account. You could rewatch the whole thing if you wanted to.
Hey man, let's go. I'll lend it for longer.
Shit. Yeah, no, that was a great match. I think Takeshita's a great wrestler. He's a good heel. I think he has a lot of future and potential. For whoever's seen a 6-foot Japanese man like that, huh? Guy's flying around like a crazy person. Yeah. No, it was really good. Good ass match. And then they followed that shit up on fucking Dynamite. Well, not with Takeshita, but with Kyle Fletcher. Another banger. Like, I hope he can hang in for the long run with the shit he does in the ring. But man, that shit was crazy. Fall after fall, kick out after kick out, crazy spots. Just good shit.
What do you guys think of Kyle Fletcher? Because that was a really good match, and I was like, because I haven't really seen his stuff before. I'm like, it takes two to tango, and he's really doing a great job being in the ring with Will Ospreay. Like, he's also doing a lot of amazing stuff.
I think he's
gravity-defying stuff.
Yeah, he's underrated. I think he's underrated as a worker because he was like second fiddle to like Will Ospreay in their faction, I guess, but. Like, he for sure is, like, potential.
And what is this? Are these proving grounds? Why are they fighting against each other in their faction?
It is like a proving grounds. What's his name?
Don Callis?
There you go. He was saying essentially how, like, in the off season, you'd have, like a Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen or somebody go at it or whatever, just as, like, a training thing to just, sharpen the sword, so to speak. So that's essentially what this is. But I'm guessing this infighting is going to create some kind of a feud and betrayal and all that jazz. So we'll see.
Yeah, there's one thing about Will Ospreay that I'm still uncertain about if I like it or not, and his ability to sell moves is hit or miss. I feel like he takes a punch or whatever, but he's just like, it doesn't matter. Like, it's like almost like he's bulletproof. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't always sell the punches. He's just like going with the flips and all that, like going one after the other. And in my mind, I'm not sure if I like that yet, or if it's just a different take on, a wrestling match that I'm just not accustomed to, because I do watch WWE and they sell and that, that's how I've perceived wrestling matches. But I mean, do you think I'm wrong? Do you feel like he does sell when he gets like hit and stuff? Because I felt like that wasn't a big part of the match when it came to him selling moves.
His selling's gotten better.
I think.
Yeah.
Like maybe what it was like 4 or 5 years ago. Like, he's in the middle of changing his style, and like what he's doing now is working a lot better than he was more like a Ricochet type.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like he's on the way up. He's still pretty young in terms of in-ring years.
And that's for sure.
Yeah.
But do you think, I mean, at the end of the day, do you think that matters, that concept of selling? And do you feel like that, does that take you out of the match if you're watching like a Will Ospreay match like that? Everyone obviously thinks it's like 5 stars, so it doesn't seem to, but what do you guys think?
I enjoy his matches like on the level I would like Pac or Neville. Right. So like, it doesn't affect me, but there are some matches are like between some wrestlers where I'm like, nah, this ain't for me.
Yeah.
I mean, I always base it on, am I entertained, yes or no? I am fucking entertained when I watch Will Ospreay. So, I mean, that's enough said on my end, to be honest.
That's all that matters at the end of the day.
Because it is entertainment. It's not actual combat, But like he's taken bumps, and he sold like shit. Like he would take like a pile driver or whatever, and he'll sell that. He doesn't just get up from that. You know what I mean? Maybe the strikes perhaps, because they'll
Yeah,
like trade strikes and stuff. But I mean, he's definitely selling like being thrown or something like that. He's not just getting up.
Yeah.
I like his Omega matches a lot,
Oh yeah.
but most people do.
I mean, I haven't seen those. I feel like I should start catching up on his match history. So we're already kind of in the AEW Dynamite conversation, but let's take a step back and just talk about the new logo, the theme song, the new stage, the new look. How do you guys feel about this new version of AEW Dynamite? Did you guys get a chance to listen to the new theme song? What do you think of those condom tunnels?
I mean, it harkens back to like the original AEW Dynamite because they did have like the multicolor. I heard some people saying, "Oh, it looks like NXT 2.0 or whatever because of the multicolor," but like they had those like multicolor things with like the chandelier that was
Right.
hanging off and all that stuff. So I think it looks good. Looks like the logo they borrowed the font from like Fight Forever and they made it a Dynamite. Like they made the word Dynamite using that font.
Yeah,
Good
And
point.
it looks good too, because I mean, when you think the word dynamite, like dynamic or whatever, like that definitely adds it than just like the basic ass like white word dynamite. It definitely looks better, more appealing.
That's true. And
I think
it's
they were
very
fine.
specific.
Yeah, like it was definitely time to like swap things out. Like they've been out for a little while. You know, the good and the bad have happened. As many signings as they had lately, even though they've always had like a big splash in terms of getting free agents. But
Hmm.
just like where the direction it seems they're going, like definitely plays off a lot better than keeping things where they were.
Definitely. And I mean, wrestling shows like SmackDown and Raw, they always change their logos every 5 years or so. So just like with Dynamite, it was about that time. With the world title match for the AEW World Championship, Swerve addressed his loss. Samoa Joe came out and he had a really good line. This is Joe's world, and Swerve is just living in it. Where do you see Swerve Strickland going from here? Do you feel like the upcoming title match between Wardlow and Samoa Joe, do you think Samoa Joe is going to lose? Like, do you think you're just going to swerve, no pun intended, just for swerve's sake, and have Wardlow win?
I mean, I would definitely like that. I mean, I think there's some beef between Wardlow and Swerve there too. Um, I mean, it could go either way. I'd probably be conservative and say that he's going to retain.
Yeah.
But who knows? I mean, maybe they're really just trying to like hot shot that shit with that show. So who knows?
Yeah. I'd like to see Wardlow win the title just because I mean he intrigues me and I like he also seems like it's that kind of second fiddle uh he's like the guy he can kick Adam Cole's ass but he feels like a punching bag sometimes and I feel like if he does win the title I also don't I hope that they're not going to be like, oh, he wins the title and then he's going to give it to, Adam Cole or whatever.
Hand it right over. Like
Yeah.
full switch.
Well,
Yeah, exactly.
you make a point though, because I bet they're trying to make Kingdom Undisputed Kingdom a bigger deal. So it would only make sense for Wardlow to win the title, so they have all this gold. Because I mean, like, why make the faction and make it a big deal if you're not gonna, you know, shower them with gold and then make them a big deal where they show up in main events. So you know what? I think he's gonna win that shit. Maybe it's not gonna be clean, but yeah, I could see him winning it now.
Well, I hope that happens
I'm
because
sticking
that'll
with
be
Joe.
entertaining. And well,
Sticking
yeah,
with
and what,
Joe.
what what would Joe do? Like you're sticking with Joe, and then so he'll retain, and then he'll keep having that. But what happens if he loses? Where does Samoa Joe go? Does he just stay in with the world title picture, trying to get it back, and then he's basically feuding with Wardlow and that whole faction?
King of
That has to be
television,
the move.
baby. No, I don't know.
It have to be the move.
Yeah.
I mean, I do think that Samoa Joe, he just won it I mean, I guess now that we're so accustomed to like a Roman Reigns 3 year reign, I'm like, oh, everybody should be having it for like, 5, 6 months a year. Before they used to pass around titles like fucking hot potatoes. But yeah, I don't know. I think Samoa Joe should have it longer, maybe at least through All Out. But we'll see. I do secretly hope Wardlow wins just for that swerve. With the other big part, the Elite obviously lost at Revolution, but they also announced that they're kicking Kenny Omega and Hangman Adam Page out of the Elite, and they announce. Well, they don't announce Okada first. Oh my God, I just forgot his name. Eddie Kingston came out. And then got a beat down. Okada comes out. You hear the coin drop, shows up, joins in on the beatdown. So he's a heel, and they announce that he's part of the Elite. Do you think that's the right course of action for Okada?
Yes.
Yeah, I like
think,
it.
Yeah. I mean, like all these people coming in are, coming in as essentially faces, so they needed like a big name like that and just make him a big heel, at least for the time being. I think that's a good idea.
And it keeps them away from the belt, but keeps them in a good enough program.
Yeah.
What do you think about where does Kenny Omega fit in this? Because I mean, he was unceremoniously kind of left, and obviously he had the diverticulitis and all that bacterial issue. I don't know if it was diverticulitis, but it was a serious issue where he was basically near death, and he got better, but now he's on the mend. It doesn't seem like he's coming back anytime soon. Do you feel like he's gonna just jump in as a face and start feuding with the Elite when he eventually comes back? Do you think he's gonna come back? Because I saw that he also started a new Twitch channel, so maybe he's trying to find an alternative career. But what do you guys think about Kenny Omega's future?
I think he'll be back.
Yeah, for sure. I think it only makes sense for him to come back and then feud. I don't know if it's going to be before Dynasty or after or whatever, but I think it's going to happen. It's probably going to be like an all-in or all-out match.
And is Hangman also just taking some time off? Is that also why they kicked him off and he lost? Because he's not going to be on TV for a while?
He's suspended for attacking the refs.
Well, I mean, in kayfabe.
Yeah, so time off.
Yeah, some time off. Do you feel like maybe they'll come back as a duo and then just feud with the Elite as formerly Elite members? Because I feel like that'd be interesting, at least from my perspective. They want to take it in a certain direction.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
Might be that time.
Yeah, I really hope that with Okada, and I've seen some of the Elites, they had like some segments on YouTube. I don't think it was specifically on Collision. They're pretty funny. I gotta say. I think the Young Bucks have some pretty good comedy chops when it comes to timing and just how they speak. It's the way that they talk on camera is just really naturally funny. It doesn't sound like they're reading off a script and they're, being goofy and it's cringe. I actually thought it was pretty entertaining.
Yeah, I mean, they make good chicken shit heels. I mean, that's kind of what they're doing right now.
Yeah, more power to them. So we had Hook, who defeated Brian Cage to retain the FTW championship. Chris Jericho shows up and he's basically kind of give him like, hey, pretty good kid. And the Gates of Agony attacked Hook after the match. Jericho saved him. Is this like turning into some kind of mentorship thing between Hook and Chris Jericho? Because there was that follow up on Collision too, where Hook showed up and basically helped out Jericho on Collision after his match. How do you guys feel about this developing story between Jericho and Hook?
I hope they do it right. Like that's really about it. Like it's not a bad thing until they make it one.
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
like there's a lot of groaning about Jericho, but it's like a lot of these dudes are learning a lot from Jericho.
and I mean, I think the rub off from Jericho onto Hook could be a good thing for Hook. So, and they got to stick Jericho, I guess, somewhere. So, I guess this makes sense.
Yeah, I agree. And there was a match between Chris Statlander and Riho, and Statlander was given a chain. She looked at it, basically tossed it aside, and then lost. Riho beats Chris Statlander. I don't know how I feel about Riho. I mean, I think she's pretty good, and if I'm not mistaken, she was the first AEW Women's Champion, like the debut Women's Champion. I am curious where they go with that because right now you have Big Business, you have Mercedes Moné debuting, you got Toni Storm who's still in a feud with Deonna Purrazzo, and she had a really entertaining, funny Tony Awards segment on Collision. And I'm really enjoying where they're going with that. It seems like the Deonna Purrazzo thing is still ongoing. So I don't know where, what her next opponents or challengers are going to be for that title. What do you guys feel about Toni Storm's current title run, and what do you expect is going to happen at Big Business, and especially with the AEW Women's Championship? Where do you think it's going to go?
I just want to say Mariah May do be looking like Toni Storm in that gear, though.
Yes, that was the other thing. Was that I was like, wait, is she just coming out to like in her regular gear just to fuck with her? But that was just Mariah May. I'm like, well, I guess blonde girl, good looking blonde girl, good looking blonde girl. You can easily mistake her for Toni Storm, but she pulled it off really well.
Yeah, I mean, I like the fangirl gimmick because she plays it really well. But as far as like Tony's next opponent, I mean, I don't know. I think it depends on what happens with Mercedes and how that debut kind of goes.
She keeps calling out Wendy Richter too. So
Who?
Legend Wendy Richter?
Yeah. Every media scrum, she calls out Wendy Richter, so watch out.
That'd be funny if something happens with that. I don't even know. How old is Wendy Richter now? I don't even remember,
Like
but she's got to be in like 50s or late 50s or 60s at this point.
61.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
I mean, Sting was what, 65? Wendy Richards got 4 years at least in her. Put some boots on her and some knee pads. Let's go. That should be interesting. Did you guys get a chance to listen to Mercedes' interview with I forgot the name of the podcast, but she basically talked about leaving WWE, hinting at, she said she was making big business moves, and that's like an obvious kind of Easter egg. You know what she's talking about there. Did you guys get a chance to listen to it at all?
Was that recent?
Yeah, it was like
got some clips. It was
2 days ago.
Yeah.
No, I got to watch it after this podcast then.
It's pretty good. I mean, she keeps it pretty vague about why she left, but she does say that she's very grateful for what WWE gave her. And she was really emotional just when she talked about the wrestlers and the opportunities that she's received, and just helping out other wrestlers and just being in her position. And you can tell that she really likes just wrestling in general, just the concept, the community, the whole shebang. She's really passionate about it because she was almost like borderline crying when she was talking about her friends and how proud she was about basically standing up for herself, and she wouldn't be where she is right now if she didn't do that decision, leaving WWE with Naomi/Trinity. So you should definitely give it a watch. I'm fully expecting her to debut at Big Business in Boston. If she isn't there, that'd be hilarious. I'll eat my own shoe, but I doubt that.
There'd be no way.
She's not, yeah. I was like, who else could it be? The gobbledygooker? You wouldn't be doing all that. I mean, it's like the CM Punk thing. It's, oh, they're doing it at a big arena in Chicago. What's it gonna be? Wink nudge. It's gonna be her, and I'm gonna be excited. And I'm just genuinely curious where it's going to go because I have no idea what she's going to do, what they're going to do with her, how big of a role she's going to have. So exciting. What did you? Okay, so we talked about Will Ospreay, Kyle Fletcher. When that match ended, Bryan Danielson came out and just gave him a stare down. And then Bryan Danielson had a match on Collision. He won his match, and then Will Ospreay. Does he only have one jumper, by the way? Because he just came out in the same green joggers
That's the uniform.
as before. Yeah, that's the drip, I guess.
Comedy Frog on leg day.
Are you guys excited for this feud? Do you feel like Tony Khan's blowing his load too early with this match, or do you think that's the right feud to start with Will Ospreay?
It's all right, dude.
Yeah, definitely. Like,
It's all right.
you definitely. I mean, for sure. Like strap the rocket to him, have some fire ass matches, and keep the hype going. I think makes sense to me.
Yeah,
I
get the
agree.
Danielson match out the way. It's kind of like Danielson Omega. Just get it out the way. Make sure everybody can have it while they're, still here.
Still
And,
healthy. I
get it
agree
out
with
the
that.
way.
And that's just what he's known for. Like you don't sign Will Ospreay and have him like some lukewarm ass matches. Like you have him do the fucking Will Ospreay thing and have some crazy ass matches every
Yeah.
single time. You know.
I agree, and Bryan Danielson also feels like sometimes he's like the proving yourself kind of match person that you have with the match. You do it, you get it done, you get a little more prestige behind your name because you beat Bryan Danielson, then you move on to the next thing. And that's what it kind of feels like with Will Ospreay trying to get his bearings in AEW. I feel like that's a good place to end with AEW Dynamite and Revolution. Hopefully, Big Business is going to show us some big new changes, and we'll have a clearer picture about where AEW is headed with the women's division, the world title picture going forward.